The camera pans over the dystopian landscape of Iron City, with its towering ruins and mountains of debris. Dr. Dyson Ito, a cybersurgeon, scours the scrapyard beneath Salem for usable parts. Among the wreckage, he stumbles upon the remains of a cyborg, her head and torso intact. Despite her broken form, her human brain is still alive. The cyborg girl, later named Alita, is a mystery. The scene highlights Ito's tenderness as he gently carries her back to his clinic, setting the tone for their bond. Alita regains consciousness in Ito's clinic, her new cybernetic body fused with her organic brain. She opens her eyes, confused and unsure of who she is or where she came from. Her amnesia is evident as she struggles to grasp her surroundings. Ito reassures her, giving her the name Alita, but reveals little about her past. This scene is full of curiosity as Alita's childlike wonder comes through while she explores her body and the world around her, eager to learn. Alita steps out into the bustling streets of Iron City for the first time. The visual contrast between the crowded marketplace, filled with vendors and cyborgs of all kinds, and the floating utopia of Salem above, is stark. Alita is fascinated by everything, from the hybrid humans to the intricate tech scattered around. Ito explains the harsh realities of their world. The rich live in Salem, while Iron City is a place of survival. Alita's innocent excitement contrasts with the gritty, dangerous city, foreshadowing the challenges to come. Alita encounters Hugo, a charming, street-smart young man who immediately shows interest in her. He offers her a tour of the city and shares his dream of going to Salem, a dream that seems impossible. Their connection is instantaneous, with Hugo's optimism and Alita's curiosity about the world, creating a bond. Alita is fascinated by Hugo's ambition, but the audience can already sense the danger of his ambitions. The chemistry between them begins to build, hinting at a deeper relationship. Alita, suspicious of Ito's late-night outings, secretly follows him through the dark alleys of Iron City. She witnesses Ito engaged in a fierce battle with a group of rogue cyborgs, wielding a massive rocket-powered hammer. The brutal fight reveals a side of Ito that Alita hasn't seen, a protector, but also a man with a dark and dangerous side. The cyborgs are merciless, but Ito handles them with precision, eventually revealing that he's a hunter-warrior, a bounty hunter tasked with eliminating criminals. Alita instinctively joins the fight, her combat abilities emerging as she easily dispatches the attackers. She moves with incredible speed and precision, her skills far beyond what even she understands. As the last cyborg falls, Ito is left in shock at her prowess. Alita, however, feels a mix of confusion and exhilaration, as her body seems to know moves her mind does not. This scene sets the stage for Alita's journey of self-discovery and hints at her mysterious warrior past. Back at the clinic, Alita confronts Ito, demanding to know more about her past. Why does she possess such advanced combat skills? Ito admits that he found her in the scrapyard and knows nothing of her origins. Alita's frustration grows as she struggles with the knowledge that she's more than just a regular cyborg. She's a warrior. She decides to embrace her abilities and search for answers about her past, setting up the emotional stakes for her journey. Hugo takes Alita to watch a motorball game, a deadly sport where cyborgs race at high speeds while trying to eliminate each other. The arena is packed with spectators, and the violence on the track is relentless. Alita is mesmerized by the high-octane action, but she soon realizes that this isn't just a sport, it's survival. Alita went outside of the city with Hugo. Hugo shows Alita the ship from ancient times. Immediately, she found some connecting with the ship. When inside, she found the ancient armor. Alita shows Ito an ancient, powerful cyborg body, known as the Berserker body. It's an advanced piece of technology from the old world, designed for a warrior like Alita. Though Ito is reluctant to give it to her, Alita feels an intense connection to the body, as if it's a part of her. She believes that embracing this form will help her uncover her true identity and fight her enemies. The scene is charged with tension, as Ito struggles with the knowledge that this body may push Alita into more danger. After Ito rejects for the transplantation, Alita joins the warrior hunter. Alita enters the hunter-warrior bar, seeking allies to take down Nova's network of killers. She issues a challenge to the other warriors, but none accept. Frustrated, Alita takes matters into her own hands, fighting off multiple bounty hunters in an epic display of her abilities. proving she's a force to be reckoned with. A massive and terrifying cyborg named Gruishka is introduced. He's a hulking figure with deadly enhancements. Gruishka tracks down Alita and Ido, intent on killing them. Their fight is brutal, with Gruishka's immense strength nearly overpowering Alita. In this battle, Alita begins to unlock more of her combat instincts. Though injured, she ultimately drives Gruishka away, but it's clear he will return stronger and more dangerous. Ido transfers her consciousness into the Berserker body. Ido reluctantly performs the procedure. As she adapts to the new body, Alita feels the surge of power that comes with it. She no longer feels confused about who she is. She's a fighter, and she's ready to take on the threats coming her way. This scene marks a turning point, where Alita fully embraces her identity as a warrior, setting the stage for the battles to come. During the night, Alita goes to meet Hugo to show her new armor. Alita mentions that her new body is more powerful and has enhanced touch sensitivity. Hugo touches her and then they share a kiss. In Vector's lab, his failure to eliminate Alita Nova possessing Vector's body, Nova scolds Grishka for his failure, telling him that his only chance for redemption is to bring him Alita's heart. Grishka vows not to disappoint him this time, but the Vector did not trust the Grishka, so he made a plan by himself. Vector extends an invitation to Hugo for a meeting over drinks to discuss the establishment of Alita. During their conversation, it comes to light that Vector had previously made a commitment to Hugo. Through manipulation, Vector persuades Hugo to convince Alita to take part in a motorball competition the next day. During a visit to Hugo's place, Alita discovers him asleep and hungover. When he wakes up, Hugo explains that he had been out drinking with Vector, who had once again promised to take him to Zalem if he could come up with the remaining funds. Alita had hoped that Hugo would consider staying, realizing the significance of this opportunity. She offers to assist him by taking on more bounty jobs, but Hugo declines, not wanting to burden her. Alita makes a dramatic gesture by offering her heart to Hugo, suggesting that he sell it to gather enough money for both of them to go to Zalem. Despite the tempting offer, Hugo refuses and advises Alita never to give up something so precious, no matter the circumstances. Alita enters the motorball tournament. Dr. Ito equips her with all the necessary gear. Before the match begins, Dr. Ito notices several bounty hunters among the competitors and realizes that the match is a setup. He warns Alita just in time. It's a setup. Despite his warning, she decides to compete anyway. As the match kicks off, the cyborgs immediately spring into action. She skillfully takes them out one by one, displaying remarkable fighting skills. Hugo called her in a panic, revealing that Zapan was hunting him with the intent of executing him. He pleaded for her assistance. Alita's world shatters when she discovers Hugo has been stealing parts from cyborgs to sell on the black market. His desire to reach Zalem has pushed him to make moral compromises, and now he's in too deep. Zapan fatally wounds Hugo with his sword, prompting Alita's horror as a centurion arrives, demanding the surrender of the criminal. Alita carries Hugo into a nearby building, desperately imploring him not to succumb to his injuries. Hugo warns her that if she manages to escape with him, they will both be killed. With his last breath, he confesses that he ceased hunting cyborgs because of his love for her. They share a final kiss, witnessed from a distance by Shirin. Shirin then reveals a potential way to save Hugo. Moments later, Alita emerges holding Hugo's severed head, and the Centurions present confirm the kill. Zapan, suspicious, checks to see if Hugo is truly dead, and discovers that Alita is sustaining his brain with her own heart's energy. Zapan attempts to take the head, but the Centurions accuse him of trying to claim another hunter's kill. Alita seizes Zapan's sword and slashes half of his face, leaving him to lament, my face, as she departs the scene. As Ido repairs Hugo's body, he gives Alita a stern warning about Zalem. He reveals that Nova controls everything from above and that reaching Zalem isn't the salvation Hugo thinks it is. He cautions Alita to prepare for the worst, as Nova's reach extends far beyond what they can imagine. Alita battles Vector's forces in the heart of Iron City. Armed with the power of her Berserker body, Alita decimates her opponents, cutting through waves of cyborg enforcers with fluid precision. The battle is fast and brutal, with Alita's agility and strength on full display. The scene is filled with dynamic camera angles and high-energy combat, emphasizing Alita's transformation from a lost girl to a full-fledged warrior. Alita storms Vector's office. Vector, unflustered by her arrival, taunts her, revealing that Nova has been watching her every move through Vector's eyes. Alita demands to know more about Nova's plans, and when Alita finally attacks, she does so with brutal efficiency. Vector's calm demeanor breaks as he realizes that Alita is no longer just fighting for survival. She's fighting to destroy the power structure he represents. Hugo, now a cyborg, makes a desperate attempt to reach Salem by climbing the massive cable that connects Iron City to the floating utopia. Alita races to stop him, knowing that Nova controls the defense systems. As Hugo climbs higher, Nova activates the defense mechanism, causing the massive saw blades to descend and sever the cable. Alita watches in horror as Hugo falls to his death. She manages to catch him for a brief moment, but his injuries are too severe, and he dies in her arms. With Hugo's death still fresh in her mind, Alita stands at the edge of Iron City, looking up at Salem. The scene is quiet, but charged with determination. She now knows that the key to freeing Iron City lies in defeating Nova and breaking the control Salem holds over the world below.